Hi, I'm Shannon McDougall, founder of SoftballTutor.com. Let's talk about cue words. Try this. Think of a word that has more meaning to it than the word itself. For example, you might say game, which means refocus back on the field and listen for sounds of the game and your opponents or teammates to stop the things outside of the game from distracting you. You might also use cue words for skill execution. Quick might be a word that you could use to remind yourself to get a good jump on a lead-off when base running. You might use the word snap to remind yourself to snap your wrist at the end of a throw to improve the velocity. Most people are talking to themselves more than they realize. Consciously talking to ourselves can even be helpful in softball and can then be even transferred over to daily activities as well. How many times have you been in a tense situation at work or amongst friends and said to yourself, "It's okay," which might mean to take a breath and put things in perspective. You can use cue words sometimes without even knowing it. You might use a word like keys to tell yourself to make sure you put them in the same spot all the time so that you always know where to get them when you need them. You can do the same thing here. Using a single word to remind you of a few things you want to remember in a softball skill is helpful during competition and training. They can also be used to help you with relaxation. You might use a word like breathe to remind yourself to relax your shoulders and take a big breath and let the air out slowly to calm yourself. You might also use a word to help when you're learning new technical and tactical skills to remind yourself of what you have to do during the execution. Something to remind you of your posture or having your weight on the balls of your feet in your ready position for fielding could be very helpful as well. Cue words don't need to be actual words only. They can also be images that represent cue words such as a stop sign or a green light. I have, for example, used traffic light colors to help athletes learn about their emotional control and to be able to change their emotions based on the color of the traffic light. This worked great during games when I could just say a color to remind them to breathe and calm down during an important game. After an error. It's common to experience negative self-talk after an error. You can devise cue words, though, that will help you get back on track and to get rid of the negative feelings that comes with negative events. There's many words that players can use, such as stop, if they're thinking of bad things, or alternatively seeing a stop sign. The idea of flushing a negative thought is another common tool that many athletes use after making an error. Practice with different words or images and set one that you can use anytime that you need to change your thinking. Cue words for learning skills. Sometimes it's hard to learn new sports skills, especially complicated ones such as batting, where there are so many parts to it. By creating cue words and remembering a specific part of the skill, you can remind yourself of what to focus on the skill during the drill and practice. Sometimes it's hard to learn new softball skills, especially complicated ones such as batting, where there's many parts to it. By creating cue words for remembering a specific part of a skill, you can remind yourself of what to focus on in the skill during the drill at practice. It's important to keep the words simple and not complicated, especially if the skills are complicated. During competition, you might find that you're nervous or anxious before a big game. This anxiety can be even stronger if it's an important one. A cue word can help you to relax and put everything into perspective, even before leaving for the field. Taking a deep breath and just saying something like, "Relax," or "It's all good," can help you to calm yourself and enjoy the moment instead of being tense and uneasy. Use the activities in this application and experiment with using different words. You might change them, or you might find some that work right away. Use them in softball and learn how to give them the effect that they're designed for. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions about the application or your progress, be sure to contact me at coach@softballtutor.com.